league behind Dortmund, and I think we'll get a very interesting game out of this tonight. There's some brilliant young talent to keep an eye on. Diamonde, Nusa. But there's also a couple of good players for Mönchengladbach as well. Tabakovic up front is scoring a lot of goals. Luka Netz, my career mode legend, is starting for Mönchengladbach as well today. All green, because it is a home game for Mönchengladbach. But in the Bundesliga at the moment, the league table doesn't lie. Why would it? It's a league table. And it is saying RB Leipzig, second in the Bundesliga, 2 points clear of third place Leverkusen, 6 points behind first place Bayern Munich. This is a tough place to go, Mönchengladbach. They have won their last 3 games in a row. They're the informed team in the Bundesliga. In fact, they are the informed team in the Bundesliga. No other team has won their last 3 games, including the mighty Bayern Munich. So the informed team, Mönchengladbach, at home, straight in the middle of the table. They will be playing second placed RB Leipzig. And we'll go through some of the players to keep an eye on tonight. But I love the Friday nights. I tell you what, we were out for our Christmas do last night in Manchester for the United stand. And it was a cracking night. I had a few German beers, actually, because everywhere's got a German market in the UK at Christmas. And it just felt very festive. And I think, you know, I might put my Christmas tree up tomorrow that I have in the studio, because it is all starting to feel very festive. And we just love these Friday night games under the lights with the atmosphere that you get in the Bundesliga. And we normally get a lot of goals as well. And I think looking at the Mönchengladbach side first, just going through their team, Luka Netz is certainly a player to keep an eye on at left back, 22 years of age. He's certainly one to watch. I mentioned Tabakovic. He's 31, but they signed him from Hoffenheim after a good loan season. He scored 22 goals in 34 games at Hertha Berlin. So he's prolific, and he's scoring a lot of goals for Mönchengladbach at the moment. So keep an eye out for Tabakovic, number 15, their striker. Other players to keep an eye on for. I think Scally's playing as well. He's 22. Yeah, 29-year-old Scally. He's a USA international with 21 caps as well. Who else is worth keeping an eye on as well? Is Kastrop playing? Yeah, number 17, Kastrop. He's only 22, South Korea, but played at German youth level as well. And I think they have got another left back who's very good, Ulrich. He's probably on the bench, to be honest. Yeah, he is on the bench, but he's a good player. But then Leipzig, we're looking at the Leipzig side. Nusa, Harder, Diamonde up as the front three. Diamonde, they were calling him the new Haaland a few weeks ago. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know why he's the new Haaland. I'm not actually convinced about that. But he is a very good player in his own right, and he's certainly a player to keep an eye on. Nusa is just a personal favourite. I really do like Nusa, the number 7. For RB Leipzig. What's the name of the player that's been really exciting? Udrago. He's not playing. He's got injured, so he's not playing tonight. But he was another young player. But Leipzig are full of young talent and always have been that way. So keep an eye on those as well. Thanks everyone who's tuning in on the watch along. Great to be starting the weekend with you all worldwide as well. If you're in the if you're in the UK and Ireland, you can watch it live match footage. I'll be in the top right hand corner if you're watching it there, because we've got the live footage. But we don't leave anybody behind, so we've got our audience with us for a watch along as well. Love the cups in the background, says Silas. You can get those cups if you want to get them. Lekeba is a good player for Leipzig as well. Rahm is a good left back. Orban is experienced. Galachi in goal. I think I pronounced his name wrong. Is good. Baumgartner, Schlager, and Selwald. I think they're all quite experienced from what I remember, age-wise. So the front three very exciting for Leipzig. I'm just having a look at Harder. I think he's quite young. They got him from Sporting. Yeah, only 20 years of age. Harder, Danish striker. He starts up front. You've got Diamonde, who has come in the summer. He came in from Legends. He's only 19 years old, and he's had a very good start to his career. Noose has been there a couple of years now. I think they brought him in from maybe Genk. I mean, this is knowledge if I've got it right. No, it wasn't. He has been there for a couple of years, though. He is, in fact, Norwegian, and he is only 20 years old. So 2020 and 19 is the front three for Leipzig tonight, and certainly got players there to keep an eye on. Sewold, I think he's Austrian. I'd say he's 26, the midfielder. 24, he is Austrian. He's a good player. He's playing in the midfield for Leipzig. Just looking at the bench of both sides before we get going here. Bakayoko's a good player. Hadara's still there. But we'll keep an eye on that. I think this is going to be an interesting game. My two players to watch are Luka Netz, the number 20, left wing back for Mönchengladbach, and Tabakovic. And then I'm going to go Nusa, number 7, and 49, Diamonde, as the other players to keep an eye on as well. But we're about to start here. Let's get ready to rumble. How you all doing tonight? Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Come on, Mönchengladbach, says Dougie Yun. Why is my phone now not keeping that going? That's annoying. But live chats are here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And this is 2nd against 12th. So it's not relegation struggle as Ari. And Mönchengladbach in white. RB Leipzig, obviously in the kit I've got behind me there, which is blue. I think there's something going on here because they're all silent with holding something up behind the goal. So if anyone knows what that's all about, let us know. How was the TUS Christmas party, Connor? Good, good. We went Flight Club in Manchester and we went to the Alchemist for food as well. We did the same last year, so we just stuck with it. But it's all about the company, isn't it? All about the company. Ollie says he's on the live game, but he can't see it. Well, you're not on the live game then. I like the Leipzig kit. Yeah, well, what's all this about then? That behind the goal. Protest about ticketing, I believe. It's fantastic. It's so silent. They don't mess around in Germany, do they? I mean, the atmospheres are incredible. But what we're witnessing here is if you're on the live stream, you can hear a pin drop. It's so silent because they're protesting about ticket prices. I think. And now they've stopped. And the atmosphere will improve. It was like a church, says Sam Baxter. I don't know what my phone's done. How do you stop it? I've got my phone on for the live chat and it just keeps closing down. It's very annoying. Not closing down, going display mode. Come on. Screen timeout 30 seconds. Yeah, I don't want that. There we go. It's because it was on power saving mode. Do I look like someone? Well, I do. You know, I'm not getting involved into the whole that stuff. Okay. Have you watched Stranger Things yet, Mark? No, I don't know whether I will yet, Mr. C. Might leave it for a few weeks. Hope I get to hear the do-do-do-da-da-da tonight from Gladbach, says Zombie. United fans should do the same. Can't afford to pay the prices anymore, says Kieran. Well, as I said, they don't mess about here in Germany. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. The start of the footballing weekend always starts on a Friday night in on that's football. Obviously, massive weekend in the Premier League. Chelsea playing Arsenal on Sunday afternoon. And there's midweek Premier League games next week as well. So lots and lots to keep an eye on. But we are starting off here on Friday night, as we always do, with the Bundesliga. I mean, I don't know whether anybody saw it. Did you watch our highlights show on Wednesday? Oh, my God. I mean, Udragro, who is injured for this game for Leipzig, scored, I think it was the best goal of the week, but he didn't get it. It was... it went to Elise, but so many cracking goals. But I think this is going to be a difficult game for Leipzig tonight. Mönchengladbach, as I say, they've won their last 3 games in a row. The only team in the league to do that. Leipzig, we've only watched them once before on a Friday night, and that was the opening night against Bayern Munich, where they got absolutely pummeled. But Leipzig are a high turnover of players team, and I think that getting Bayern Munich out of the way probably wasn't a bad idea. Great interception there by Sewold. Goes wide to Nusa. Go on, run past them all. Nice ball there. And pretty much since that Bayern Munich tanking, they've been absolutely brilliant. And they've put themselves into second in the league. And they were, last season, I think they finished 7th. They're not in Europe. They're like Man United and AC Milan, Leipzig. No European football for them. So they had a really bad season last year. But this season, they have really bounced back. Apparently, it's not the ticket prices. It's something to do with they want to personalise the tickets, says Ollie. Well, if anyone knows what it's all about, let us know. I'll tell you what it has done, though. It has made the crowd a little bit quiet than usual compared to normal Friday nights, this protest. I must admit that. I just had to turn the sound up a little bit. There is a show on the United Stand tonight. Yeah, it'll be Terry at 8 o'clock. Apparently, Zinedine Zidane is showing interest in the Liverpool job, says AJ. I don't think Zidane will take a Premier League job. I think he's very, lovely play here by Leipzig. Nusa plays a 1-2. He's got it. He's going to slip harder down the left-hand side. This is good play by Leipzig. He needs some support, and he went for some sort of strange worldy cross there, but that didn't quite work. But Sewald picks it up again. They're playing very well in that midfield already. Sorry, that was Schläger, not Sewald. But yeah, they've started off very well here, Leipzig. They will look to control that play. Mix of experience and young talent. Yeah, I didn't really get the whole Diamonde's the next Haaland thing. I mean, I don't know whether anybody can explain that one to me. I mean, he's a very talented player. But Harder is more Haaland than Diamonde. Diamonde's, I mean, I don't know what you'd describe Diamonde as. He's a wide forward. He's more, I'd say he's more Dembele than Haaland. But I read an article a few weeks ago and they were describing Diamonde as the next Haaland. And I was just like, he doesn't even play as an out-and-out striker. I bet Ralf Rangnick will be happy that Leipzig's midfield consists of 3 Austrians. That could be an advantage for his national team at the World Cup, does EMP. I haven't watched Austria since the Euros. I think Rangnick's a fantastic coach, and I don't think it's any coincidence that Bayern Munich were looking to take him before Company. I think he's a brilliant coach, and but the problem I think he's got with Austria is, at least if you're Denmark, you've got Harder, you've got Højlund. They just don't have a striker, do they? Being Austria, they don't have enough flair, I think, up front, and I think that's always going to be a problem for them. Someone's going to tell me there's an amazing young Austrian striker now who's going to be the best strike player in the world. But no, I think they have got some good players, but it's just that quality in depth. But Baumgartner's a good player. I do like him, number 14. And he's still really young. I see Baumgartner of Leipzig, that he's playing number 14 today. I always see him as a player that's like 28, because he seems to have been around for a while. And you sort of think he's not going to get that move, but he's only just 26. He's a player that could move on, and he's got a good record as well. 19 goals in 56 games for Austria. Ain't to be sniffed at. I'm not saying he's a Premier League player, but Leipzig do traditionally have that sell motto. But I like Leipzig this year, and I don't think it's particularly popular to like Leipzig, is it? Because they're not fan owned, are they? It's RB, so. But they've started off the better side. He's Nusa. Eby on the move. That's a free kick, ref. Yes, I'll have a free kick there for Nusa. Apparently, the atmosphere, I'm being told by Ryan, our producer, there's current atmosphere at Gladbach. Apparently, there's a protest against government plans. I don't know whether that's after 12 minutes of play or not. Stabber says, where is the live? If you're on the watch along, you'll be watching it as a normal watch along. If you're on the live match, you'll be watching it live. So go to That's Football homepage. If you can see the live match, watch it. It is for UK and Ireland only that we've got that. Oh, the silence is for 12 minutes. Okay, there isn't total silence, but that's why the crowd's quiet then. That makes sense. Anyway, good free kick position here over the bar. Well, some of the crowd obviously can't stay quiet. It was a terrible free kick, that was. Absolutely terrible by Rahm. I think, doesn't Rahm start for Germany? At left wing back. He has got 34 caps. I think he does. Yeah, a lot of people asking what it's all about. Are you just going to do the Super Bowl or are you going to do some playoff games? Oh, I'm a bit annoyed with the NFL this year because the Bills have gone rubbish and they're the team I quite like. They might not even make the bloody playoffs. Offside. Been a long week this week. I enjoyed the Champions League stuff, but yeah, I need United to play again after Monday night. Then again, maybe I don't. Palace would be a tough game, won't it? Evening, Mark. It's definitely not popular to like Leipzig, but I love them and have done for years. Do you think Sewald or Schläger would help Man United? I think that's Mr. Sai. Thanks very much for your super chat. I think that is a great point because I actually do think when you look at United's midfield, there's very few half decent midfielders that wouldn't improve us. I mean, look, I'm not saying Sewald or Schläger are better than Bruno as a player, but in that midfield position, they're specialists, and Bruno isn't. So. Random says most fans of traditional clubs don't like the financial structure, but I think it is progress, so I don't really hate them. Only when they win against Bremen, like last weekend, says Random. Ian says the Bills are still good. They're on track for the playoffs, and Allen will show up. Be interesting whether the Chiefs make it. They've got a big game against the Cowboys this weekend. Ray says, I love all the shows. I love all the streams, but have you noticed most of the best teams play three in the midfield? Yes. Yes, I have. And here we go. 12 minutes and the crowd changes completely and the flags come out. That's incredible, isn't it? If you're watching it on the live stream, we've had 12 minutes of a dead atmosphere and then bang on 12 minutes, the flags come out and it all starts. Nusa. He's got such good close control, Nusa. Shot over the bar. There you go. Look at that. That's mad, isn't it? That's proper atmosphere. Love it. Joel says, do you think the competition prize money Champions League is inflating the transfer market? £100 million player looks cheap now if you split it over 4 years. 25 million for a return of 75 million just for getting into the Champions League. Joel, look, I don't think players should be routinely going for £100 million. But how much is a player? I think it's always driven by the market and how much you want them. Where do you think Nusa will end up at? I don't know whether it will be this summer. Although Norway are in the World Cup, it could be this summer. Oh, the Chiefs lost to the Cowboys. They're in so much trouble. 6-6. I don't know whether you get in the playoffs with that. They're in big trouble. Yeah, I can see Nusa on the move in the next. I think maybe next summer. Lovely play by Leipzig here. Nice little link-up play. No messing around there on the tackle, though. Mönchengladbach. Cross comes in. It's a decent cross. Keeper's there. Seen a lot of goals from crosses in the Bundesliga the last couple of weeks, and that was a dangerous ball in by Honrahat, looking towards Tabakovic, the number 15. What is that? Oh, don't worry. It's fine. Noosa will end up at Chelsea, says Jacob. Well, as a wide player, there's probably I think for any wide player under 23 that shows any talent, there's probably a 90% chance you will end up at Chelsea. And I'm not even messing around. Please do share the video if you're watching. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe to That's Football. Big games this weekend. I don't think I'm doing any tomorrow. There's not many. I mean, Fulham against Spurs at 8 o'clock. No, I'll watch a Christmas film, thanks. Everton, Newcastle, and the 3 o'clocks aren't great. It's all about Sunday, I think. West Ham, Liverpool, that's going to be interesting. Man United, Palace at 12 o'clock is ridiculous. I can't go. I can't watch Seb's game. Mark, have you seen that Man United's new stadium is being added to England's World Cup bid? Says Luke. When's the World Cup bid then? 2100. Mönchengladbach are in white, and RB Leipzig are in their sort of navy kit. Oh, there's nothing sort of navy about it. Mönchengladbach starting to find some stability here, though. Do you think the Bundesliga and the Premier League are now the two best leagues in the world, Mark, says TB? Well, if I say that, people are going to say, well, it's because you've got Bundesliga TV rights. And you'd be 100% right. No, look, I think that what I said from day one about the Bundesliga and going through this journey was that it's incredible what we've achieved as a community to get Bundesliga TV rights and basically be the first fan content provider to have official TV rights. Hold on. Honrahat, nice ball. He's got to get the shot off there. Oh, good defending by Leipzig. What's abundantly clear to me is that, and I don't watch La Liga in any depth, is the intensity and speed of the Bundesliga is the closest league to the Premier League. And you get more goals in the Bundesliga and you get better atmospheres. So to me, that's what makes it, entertaining is there's loads of goals, there's a good atmosphere, and it's played at I think the game flows better than the Premier League. The referees seem to get it better. They let the game flow. It's every Friday night I say it, and it is so true. It very, very rarely stop. The games very rarely stop. It's like you in the Premier League, like you get a throw in, everyone stands still. That takes a minute. Every free kick, all right, let's all have a big chat. Hold on, Mönchengladbach, good defending, but is it? Referee had a look. Don't think he's willing to give a penalty. He says no. Collision in the box. Referee says no. Promise I'm straight, but you look cute, says Zuta. Mark, are you going to try and get rights for any other leagues in Europe, says LTP? Yeah, I'm looking at the Macedonian League. Yeah, no, I'm not. No, look, we have the highlights. We have the Friday night show. We're very happy with what we've got at the moment. I admire the fans' support. The atmosphere is way better than English football is. No atmosphere in England, especially at Liverpool, says Chris. The reason we don't have these atmospheres in the Premier League is because the Premier League basically commercialised football. In the late 80s, we did have amazing atmospheres, but we also had crowd trouble. So they desensitized football in England and made it very family-friendly, commercial. And it might be a cultural thing. I don't know. Evening, legend, says Plantman. Thank you, Plantman. Hope you're doing well. Would you like to see the Carabao Cup replaced by something more interesting, like 2 goals outside the box? Just chat. That's a lovely ball out to Diamonde. He will pick it up. He's wearing a mask. Leipzig, first venture forward in quite a while, Leipzig. I mean, Mönchengladbach have started off very well. Who's playing in the NFL tonight, Ian? Have a look at those fixtures in a minute. Mönchengladbach win it back. Oh, it's the Eagles against the Bears. How was Thanksgiving? Have we got any Americans watching? That was yesterday, wasn't it? Happy Thanksgiving. I meant to say it yesterday, but I didn't do the evening show. This is a good point by Jack. He says, why is it that Bundesliga teams always sell and don't hold their players for longer? Wirtz, Voltemeda, Sesko. Oh, I think it's an easy answer. I mean, Bayern Munich do it, but Bayern Munich are very, very, very wealthy. In the Bundesliga, a lot of these clubs are fan owned, and they quite simply don't have the wage budget or transfer spending power of the Premier League. So if you have a player, good play by Diamonde here. Let's wait and see. He's going to go wide left to Nusa. Nusa into the box. He's going to whip this, and he did, but it's a good block and it's cleared away. Yeah. So if you're Leipzig and I don't know, Tottenham come along in the summer and go, we'll give you £60 million for Nusa, then that's a huge amount of money where you can go and buy another 3 or 4 prospects where 1 or 2 of them you think they're probably going to be the next Nusa anyway. So that's just it's a financial model that works really, really well. And that's why when you look at most Bundesliga sides, they will have 2 or 3 decent prospects in their team because it's a model that works well for them. And it's a model that works for everybody now. I mean, look, teams are going, the Italian league, Spanish league, Portuguese league. That's the power of the Premier League, isn't it? And it's only what the Italian league used to be in the late 80s, early 90s. Lovely play in. Ram. Terrible ball. Terrible ball. Yeah, it's like the Brighton model, says Mufti. Exactly. Talking about Wirtz, Foot says, Wirtz was horrible for Liverpool. You can't blame him for that blame slot. Liverpool situation is so interesting. It really is. I mean, Frimpong as well. Very good player. In from the... Well, they've bought 3 players in from the Bundesliga, haven't they? Ekitike, Wirtz, and Frimpong. And 2 of them are really struggling. Thoughts on Lukeba? I think he's a player United should be looking at, says Jason. Yeah, I mean, he is sort of following in the footsteps of previous Leipzig centre-backs, Kanate and Meccano. And he's sort of hitting that age now, 22, where I think that there will be clubs starting to take a look at him. Certainly. Thank you very much for your super chat, Jason. I'll shout out the Alchemist, actually. We had a really good night there in Manchester last night. And the owner, well, they're not the owner, the restaurant, the manager was an Everton fan, and he recognised us from the United stand. So he says, I'll get you some of these oyster shots. And they've basically come out like on a metal oyster dish. And they've got these like, it's just a shot like that. Guess what colour they were? Blue. I said, I will drink it, but because it's free. But I'm not happy about the colour. Good break. Diamonde. No, that's gone. That's gone. That's gone. No, I wasn't barred. He was actually all right. Imagine he said you're banned. Why did we never go for a Pender? Says Stephen. Where is a Pender? He moved, didn't he? Where did there's a good question. Where did a Pender go to? I think he was there at the start of the season and he left. I can't remember where he went. Did he go Serie A? Juventus. Yeah, Juventus. There we go. Mr. Scythe was there first. It's Connor second. Jacob, thank you. Well done. Interesting bit of information there from Luke Roden. He says Galacci, the goalkeeper, has been at Leipzig since 2015, but he was at Liverpool before that and never played. Hungary's goalkeeper, isn't he? Game needs a goal, really. 25 minutes. Nusa, lovely feet, but Mönchengladbach's defence, it's basically a back five. Good interception there. Yeah, they're struggling to break them down here, Leipzig. It's very much a back five and counter from Mönchengladbach. Good cross into the box, but well dealt with. And a shot wide again. Niel says, do you think the German support is better than the Prem? I mean, 100%. I mean, there's very many different questions we can ask about the Bundesliga and the Premier League, but 100%. Like the Turkish league will have better support than the Premier League. It's like I wouldn't even be insulted by it. It's just the Premier League is quite tame. It just is. The atmospheres are not replicated comparable to other leagues around the world. Dylan says, could you see Arsenal doing the double? I presume the double is the Champions League and the Premier League and not the Premier League and the FA Cup, because traditional double is the Premier League and the FA Cup. I don't think they'll be too interested in the traditional double, if I'm being honest with you. But I think they've got a very good chance of the Premier League, and in the Champions League, they're probably the best team at the moment. Here's Nusa picking it up. Is he going to pass it? He is. It's a lovely ball. Bang. Oh, I think he tried to cross it there. Wasn't. I'd have had a shot from there. I'd have been greedy. Harder it was with the shot. They're pushing a bit, Leipzig, though. That's going to go out for a throw, and he ain't going to keep that in. Sorry. Just going to rest my ears for a minute. Danny says, I think it's just the ultras that make the difference in the atmosphere. Well, there is that, but there are other leagues around the world that have decent atmospheres as well. I think ultimately it comes down to the commercialization of the Premier League. You know, you get a lot of corporate, don't you, in the Premier League? But because a lot of these clubs are fan owned as well, it's more than a football club, isn't it? Ticket prices as well, says Randy, are a lot more accessible. I didn't see any of the results last night in Europe. Ollie says, did you see the Young Boys fans throwing objects and causing problem at Villa Park? Would you ever consider going on I'm a Celebrity? My dad, Janos, loves you, says Daniel. No, I don't think I would. I don't know what it would. I don't really see the point, really. I think it's good for people well, you've either fallen off or you're on the way up, aren't you? And um, also, I don't see myself as a celebrity either, so no. Since Palmer is back, do you think Chelsea have a bigger chance against Arsenal? Says who? No, not really. I think Harry Kane and Elise, two of the best players in Europe, struggled against Arsenal on Wednesday night. So I don't think it really matters whether Cole Palmer's back or not. Mönchengladbach here on a rare foray forward. I think the problem that these two teams have got is that the ball's moving a little bit too slow, and both teams are getting set up. Needs a goal. It desperately needs a goal this game, because by the time either team gets on the attack, the defences are both well organised and have plenty of numbers. What do you think of fan groups like Ashburton Army at Arsenal? Do you find them cringe or good for trying to attempt atmosphere in a corporate EPL? No, I think it's good, mate. I think the Arsenal atmosphere over the last couple of years is a great example of the effort, a definite improvement, certainly. I mean, obviously not on the scale of what we see here, but there is a definite improvement on that. And what we've seen from the Red Army at Old Trafford in the Stretford end with the flags before the game, some people knock it, but at least it's an improvement. It's a movement in the right direction, Connor says, do you think the Premier League should have some form of ultras for the top 6 clubs? Well, yeah, done in the right way. I think we definitely should, but I don't think they'll want it, will they? Because it's like, what Premier League club owners want is money, and what gives them most money is corporate packages, isn't it? They'd rather have more corporate seats where they can get people in for a meal and get a few £100. They don't want to be selling tickets for 30, 40 quid, do they? Dylan says, start, bench, sell, Lewandowski, Benzema, Suarez. I've had this one before. I'll sell Suarez every single day of the week for obvious reasons. I'll bench Benzema and I'll start Lewandowski. Harlan says, any player in the RB Leipzig side you'd like to see at Man United? That's a lovely cross, but keepers there for Leipzig. I think the midfield three of Seinold, Schläger, and Baumgartner of RB Leipzig might not be the most glamorous midfield in the world, but at least they're specialists in what they do, which is something Man United lack. I do like Nusa, Harder, and Diamonde, but 19, 20, and 20, I'm not sure that's what Man United need. I mean, I like Nusa. I would take him at Man United, but I don't think he suits our system. And I personally don't think United need to buy more young players, Harvey says, I've just ordered one of your Christmas jumpers as my girlfriend threw it where? Threw it on me. That's on Christmas Eve. Everyone has to wear one. Oh, there we go, Harvey. Lovely stuff. We'll be at a Christmas Eve party then. Love it. Since the defeat against Everton, Mark, please may I borrow your glasses? They look nice, says Pixel. How's that going to work? Just buy your own. Total says, would you take Grimaldo at United? I mean, United wouldn't go anywhere near him because I think he's about 30 now. But I mean, I think they need a bit of experience. They do have a striker, Leipzig, actually. Someone just mentioned Sesko, and I'm surprised myself that I haven't actually mentioned him. I don't know where he is, actually. Romelu. No, that's not his name. What's his name? The Brazilian striker that they got from Turkey. Is it Romelu? Someone in the chat will know. I think it might be Romelu. Let me have a look. Romelu Leipzig. I was right. It is Romelu. Yeah, he's not. I don't know what's I don't know what's going on with him. I think he might be injured. Yeah, he's got an injury at the moment. He was sort of the replacement for Sesko, but he's done all right. He's done all right. There we go. Mr. Sy says he had a slight knee tweak in training. Scored a lot of goals in Turkey. I don't know how many goals he's got for Leipzig this season. Four goals in 10 games, so not too bad. Don't shoot from there. Oh, what I said. I did say don't shoot from there, but Harder did. That's about 30 yards out, and he hit it quite hard. But it's not a bad effort, that. Keeper's got it covered, but at least it was decent. He's got 3 assists as well, Romelu. Mr. Al-Sham says, listen to the crowd, man. Fans make football 1,000 times better. Look, we mention it almost every week. There are 3 big positives I like about the Bundesliga. I think the referees are brilliant at letting the game flow. We've had 36 minutes here, and in the Premier League, it would have felt like 20. Now, we haven't got any goals, which is disappointing. I think that's one of the big things about the Bundesliga is you get a lot of goals. We haven't got any goals tonight yet. But the game flows so well. It's incredible. And why are the Premier League so arrogant that they don't watch other leagues that let the game flow? Makes such a difference. That's probably why there's more goals, because there's the ball's in play more. And also, as I said, the atmospheres are just brilliant. I'd love to see these atmospheres in the Premier League, but I think to get these types of atmospheres, you probably got to give up revenue. And I think there is a direct correlation between the Premier League being wealthy at the expense of atmosphere, because I think to get the atmosphere, you've got to have cheaper tickets, fan-owned clubs, and make the fans feel, they're part of it. And I think you're a spectator in the Premier League. You almost have to be in awe of having the privilege to watch the football. Whereas in the Bundesliga, you're part of the football, and that's that's why there's the money in the Premier League, because it's corporate. Do you think Chelsea's one of the favourites to win the Champions League? Says Ascend. I think Chelsea could win the Champions League. I think the favourites are Arsenal. Then I'd say it's Bayern, PSG, Real Madrid. But it's about time Premier League clubs started winning the Champions League on the regular. Mönchengladbach on the attack here. But this is where, terrible ball. The transition from one team's attack to the other needs to be quicker to create the spaces to do it. It's almost like Leipzig are starting to figure that one out. A good point from here. Dr. Jenkins says that if you were going to a game, how much more excited would you be if it was cheaper? Which sometimes includes public transport costs, and you actually own part of the team. I'd be also singing. Well, yeah, imagine that. Imagine if you go and watch Man United on next time you go at Old Trafford. You're a member of the club and you own part of it, and the tickets are cheap, half the price. I mean, you're gonna feel happier, aren't you? Yeah, Premier League refs take note, says Dowell. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let it flow. Reese says, I've just realised that Stiller follows you on Instagram. I've got a few players that follow me. They've obviously got good taste. Ross McRae Magician says, what are your top 5 Christmas songs? I did my Mount Rushmore Christmas films the other day. I don't know what my top 5 are. I do like Band-Aid and I do like the Paul McCartney one. I quite like that Ed Sheeran and Elton John one, you know. You know, Elton John, as he gets older, I don't actually know what he's saying. It's just like a noise, isn't it? Baumgartner, oh, could have been an own goal there. Smashed it across the 6-yard box, hit the Mönchengladbach defender and went straight into the keeper's arms, which always sounds like a pub, the keeper's arms. There must be pubs called the keeper's arms. Prince, thanks for becoming a member and getting your badge in. Love that. Thank you very much. Leipzig are starting to probe more here. Mönchengladbach definitely showing a lot of respect to Leipzig, but they are second in the league. Lovely run here by Lekeba. I mean, did you see the way he glided? I mean, he is a good player. The way he glided from back to front there was fantastic. Oh, Nuzza. Brilliant. Penalty, ref. Oh, I think that was a penalty, I do. I really think he should have had a look at that. Diamonde, terrible shot. I mean, Nusa is saying that. I mean, he's not going to get given, but I thought there was a little bit of a claim for it. And Leipzig players are saying, hey, up, let's have a look at it. Rahm's saying it as well. He seemed to get in. It's a bit soft. I can see why he didn't give it. One of those. Could have been. Could have been. Tom McBride says, did you see the Stiller nose bullying last night? No, penalty's not been given. No, I didn't, Tom. I didn't. I feel like I didn't see any results last night because, I know why. But I could have looked at them. Ricky was on his phone. Here we go. Mönchengladbach on the attack. Nice little ball to the back post. And defended as well, Rahm. It goes out for a corner. So Thursday night, Villa beat Young Boys 2-1. Stuttgart beat Go Ahead Eagles 4-0. They're doing very well, Stuttgart, at the moment. Forest beat Malmo 3-0. I'm sure that rings a bell. Didn't Forest play Malmo in a European Cup final years ago? Before my time. Cleared away corner, and Freiburg are in the Europa League 0-0 with Victoria Plzen. So German star Angelo Stiller is victim of, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about that at half time because that's an interesting topic. Rio, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks for getting your badge in. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Steve, if you're in the UK and Ireland, go to the pinned live chat, go to that link. If you're in UK and Ireland, you can watch the actual game with me. If you're not, we just do a normal watch along. I think this is a great point by Jack. He said, we don't get as many free kicks in the Bundesliga because players don't go down so easily because they know they won't get a free kick. It's cause and effect, mate, isn't it? Like the Premier League is so stop-start because the players know the referees stop the game a lot. So they go down a lot and then you get more free kicks. In the Bundesliga, they know that the referees let the game flow. So there's no point going down. So the Premier League officiating model destroys the potential of what the Premier League could be. And we're into week 12 of the Bundesliga now? And it's not changed once. Like, the games flow much quicker. I mean, we're nearly at half time already. It feels like lovely play by Diamonde on the right-hand side. And again, I mean, I don't know how the referee didn't blow up there. I mean, I thought that was a foul, but look, the game flows. That's a bad ball. This is where Leipzig need to move it quick. Lovely again. Diamonde definitely likes to dribble, but they've dribbled into trouble there. Be a free kick. Foot says, if you're going to have a dinner party with 10 people in the world, who would you choose? Yeah, I'm not doing that on a bloody watch along. I'd need a pen and paper and a bloody Google to figure that out. Oh, what happened in the Palace game? They beat Crystal Palace 2-1, Strasbourg. And it was a strong Palace side as well. That might go in Man United's favour, you know. I mean, Ben Chilwell can only get on the bench for Strasbourg. Asney says Strasbourg are a Champions League club, to be fair. Yeah, but I'd still expect Palace to beat them, I've got to say. Hunter says, I feel like Stiller would get bullied by the media if he played for Man United. Look, I was reading this. It's half time here, so we'll leave that up for you. But I was reading this. German star Angelo Stiller is victim of bullying, rages Dutch legend as opponent mocks Man United target who was born with a cleft lip. This is why he has this, lip scar, I think it is. So Go Ahead Eagles player Victor Edvardsen has apologised after being accused of bullying Manchester United target Angelo Stiller. Stiller and Edvardsen were in action on Thursday night. Edvardsen appeared to make a reference about Stiller's nose on the field, triggering a brief on-field scuffle and a frenzy after the game as fans and pundits alike slammed the striker. Stiller was born with a cleft lip, which is a birth defect affecting the face and mouth. Former Real Madrid and Netherlands midfielder Wesley Sneijder took aim at Edvardsen after the game, saying he needs to walk to Frankfurt's dressing room right now and apologise. This is bullying. Yeah. Well, look, I'm fully aware, as I'm sure many of you are, of the facial features of Angelo Stiller. And I've never really heard anybody in our live chat mention it. And I certainly have never mentioned it, even though I'm fully aware that, you know, he has that cleft lip. So I think it's bloody disgusting that a player would do that to another player on basically, you can't do that. You can't do that. It is messed up, as Beats says. And I know it's competitive sport, and I know things get said in the heat of the moment, and we're not all perfect. So look, you know, I would hope that there is an instant apology, because people do stupid things in the heat of the moment. However, like, you know, I would hate to think I really would like Angelo Stiller to sign for Manchester United. I think he's a fantastic player. I'd hate to think that if we did sign him, there would be people out there who start, you know, making fun of that. You know, I'd rather we didn't sign him if that was going to happen, because it's not snowflake society, John Smith. It's bullying. That's exactly what it is. You can't do that. You can't go and have a, you know, ridicule somebody because of how they look. It's not in them circumstances. I'm sorry. So look, yeah, it is an interesting one, because we know how social media works, don't we? And I wouldn't be very comfortable with that if we bought a player and then you're going on social media and people are coming up with, you know, things like that about things like that. But, you know, hopefully an apology and a hefty fine to charity should help, says Gav United. Yeah. to be honest with you, like Conan says, I think my experience with social media is that they probably would start doing it, to be honest. Yeah. Mate, this is a great point. Nobby Piles says, bend it like Declan. How good is that man? I think Declan Rice, looking against that Bayern Munich midfield, which is a very good midfield on Wednesday. It's incredible about Declan Rice, actually, because I think at West Ham, he had this potential and he was a very, very good player. But what he's become at Arsenal and England is, and his corners are just world class. Like the corners he puts in are amazing. He's 27 in January. I think he's one of those players where you sort of think, sure, he was only 22 last week, but 27 next month. And right in his prime, and he's playing absolutely fantastic for Arsenal at the moment. Absolutely brilliant. And potentially a player Man United should have been looking at, but then again, Timber was the player that Ten Hag wanted. I don't think, you know what though? I think Timber's one of those players that at United he wouldn't have worked the way he has at Arsenal. Can you imagine him? That was a few years ago as well. I think at United, we know how it goes at United. We ruin players. So as much as he was the player that we wanted, I think that we probably would have ruined him, to be honest with you. And he's definitely better off where he is. TT Video says Ten Hag did want Timber over Martinez, to be honest. Yeah, he did. It's funny with Ten Hag, isn't it, as well? I mean, look, just talking about the Bundesliga for a moment, it's obviously half time here. And they're showing some mistakes here like they do every week. They've been so good. Leverkusen have been so good since they got rid of Ten Hag. And I felt that was harsh on Ten Hag for him to lose his job so quick. But Leverkusen have done fantastically well since the departure of Ten Hag. I think it was game week 2. Really, really well. And I think the race for top 4 is going to be very, very interesting in the Bundesliga. Just having a look at it now. You've got Leipzig. Well, they're drawing here at the moment in second place. Leverkusen in third. Dortmund and Stuttgart 4th and 5th on the same points. And then Frankfurt are now up to 6th on 20, joint with Hoffenheim on 20 as well. So only the top 4 get Champions League football, and the race is very interesting. And Leverkusen play Dortmund tomorrow at 5:30. I think that's the game of the week. Frankfurt play Wolfsburg on Sunday. Bayern should beat St. Pauli at home. They're struggling big time, St. Pauli. And is the other one we were talking about? Stuttgart play Hamburg on Sunday. It'll be a tough game as well. So, yeah, it's heating up. It really is. Do you think United got all the signings they needed? Sesko and Burma? No. I don't think they did. I think the January transfer window is going to be very interesting. And I mean, it'd be very interesting it would be very interesting to see, specifically with the Bundesliga, when you look at like Volta-Maida to Newcastle, and you look at Liverpool, Ekitike, Wirtz, Frimpong, Sesko, obviously to Manchester United. Quite a lot of players came in from the Bundesliga last summer into the Premier League, and I think a lot of Premier League clubs do need to do business in the January transfer window. So how does that work? Will Bundesliga clubs be open to that? Will they be open to it? Will they be open to doing some business in the January transfer window? Because I think there are a few clubs that do need to do it. Certainly. Hold on a minute. Let me just sort this out. Okay. Hugo Larson says Haaland. He's having a fantastic season for Frankfurt, and I think he's going to be a really, really good player. But I don't know whether he's ready to make that step up yet. Where's Timo Werner now? I mean, that's him on the screen. Is he still playing football? I mean, I don't know how recent this clip is. Who would you rather have at United, Rice or Caicedo? Either, please. Either. He's at New York. He's in New York, Werner. I think Werner was one of those players that when he was in the Bundesliga, he was brilliant. And obviously he had 2 bites of the cherry at Chelsea and Spurs. And it just didn't work out. I mean, what a player he was when you were playing computer games as well. But yeah, he just couldn't quite do it in the Prem, could he? I hope West Ham turn over Liverpool at the weekend. Aftermath will be a popcorn event, says Exile. I think I don't think I can do a watch along for that on Sunday because Man United is at 12 o'clock. Then I've got to do the match reaction, and the turnaround is like 15 minutes between the end of the United game and the start of the Liverpool game. So I'll just have to, and then it's Chelsea Arsenal straight afterwards. So I'm sort of like, if West Ham win that game, I think Liverpool are. I think they're going to have to. You'd have to do something, wouldn't you? I think Liverpool will win, but if West Ham win, I think you've got to move Slot on, and I just don't think Liverpool are prepared for that at all. I really don't. Yeah. Werner plays for Leipzig, not New York, says G. Dot. Well, he's not in the squad today. I'm pretty sure I think he's on loan, isn't he, at New York? I'd say. Let me have a quick look for you. He's where is he? No, he's still at Leipzig, apparently. I can't see anything about where he is. Oh, he's got his eyes on a move to the MLS, but he's out of favour at the moment with Leipzig. Well, he is out of favour. He's not even on the bench, and they've got a couple of injuries, haven't they? So he's probably on a good. He's probably on a good bump, isn't he? At the moment, probably on a good wage. He's played 1 minute this season, says G. Dot. Big Cheese says apparently Cunha won't play the next game. I said this on the United Stand this morning. Interesting from a football perspective. So Cunha didn't play against Everton on Monday night because he got a head injury on Saturday in training. A lot of people were talking about him being back for the game on Sunday, but I said this morning the concussion protocol, Lucas Bergvall had it for Spurs, didn't he? Is 10 days. So if Cunha had head injury last Saturday, he can't play on Sunday because that's still only 8 days. So apparently he is out with the head injury protocol. So Cunha's actually missed quite a few games for United now. I think United might get a result on Sunday because people think we won't. Palace played last night, so it's a quick turnaround. Did you all hear about? I saw something this morning that the Man City news might be coming out soon, but then I spoke to somebody else who said I don't think it is. I think I'd rather they just stay quiet about it until it actually comes out. I don't want to hear rumours about it. It was meant to be the last international break. It was meant to be the summer. It was meant to be bloody April. Just get on with it. There's the fixtures for the weekend. If you're on the live stream, live match. That would be such an easy win for Bayern. St. Pauli, it looks like them. St. Pauli have lost more games recently than Liverpool. That's how bad they've been. Fat Max says, couldn't you caught Amrim and Bruno kissing in the dressing room and Amrim smacked him? Come on. Come on. I think Zidane comes to Liverpool if they sack Slot, says Kay. The thing about Zidane is he took the Real Madrid job because Real Madrid meant something to him, and he did the job for a period of time and then felt that he wanted to stop doing it because, you know, he'd done enough. He wants the France job because it means something to him and he's played for France. He's never played in the Premier League. No Premier League club means anything to him, and I don't think Zidane does that. I remember Man United being linked to him. He's just not that manager. I think he's somebody who is only interested in projects like Juventus. I think would be more likely than him coming to Liverpool. Look, I might be completely wrong, but Man United got linked to Zidane loads of times, and I don't think he even speaks English, and I don't think he's got any interest in taking a Premier League club. So, and also, why would you do it? Why would you do it? His club record at Real Madrid, 3 Champions Leagues in a row, that legacy is. Why would you jeopardise that at Liverpool? Yeah. I can't see Zidane taking any other job than the French job. No, Mitchell, and also that French job is coming up in the summer, isn't it? I think that's what he wants. Certainly. Areola is probably the closest thing. Liverpool's intense pressing. Yeah, and also, to be honest with you, it might be a hot take, but if I was Liverpool, I would go for Iraola, at Bournemouth over Zidane. I would do. I think what he's done at Bournemouth, the way he plays and what he does with the high turnover of players. Also, he's managed Kirkes, hasn't he? So that would help with a player that's looking like a bit of a flop at the moment. Yeah. Thoughts on Xerxes' performance on Monday, says Biggie. I think any player, whether it's a Mönchengladbach player or a Man United player, if you haven't had minutes, you're not going to be match sharp. Southgate's the right manager for Liverpool anyway. That's the one. Players are coming out for the second half here. Thought I saw Sabitzer walking out there. I was saying, you play for Dortmund, mate. What are you doing? Julie says, do you think Arsenal will win the Premier League this season? 100%. Well, I predicted it at the start of the season. So I predicted it when it wasn't, anywhere near the situation it is now. I'd love Southgate to get a job just so he's not there if Man United sack Amorim. The truth is, it's not a great time to sack a manager. Players coming out, come on, get a goal. Someone get a goal. Too defensive. The defences are on top here at the moment. We need to see some goal mouth action. Mr. Anschelman says, Mönchengladbach last title was in 1976. They've won the league 5 times in that history. Have Leipzig ever won the league? I feel like I should know the answer to that. I think Arsenal will win on Sunday, and that basically gives them a firm hand on the trophy already. Because they'll have been to Stamford Bridge, they'll have been to Anfield, they'll have been to Newcastle, they'll have been to Old Trafford, and they'll be 7 points clear. Do I think Liverpool need a new manager? I think West Ham's the perfect game for Liverpool. I think if you can't win that game, you should make a change. I do think it's like you either start winning now or you make the change, because they've lost so many games that you just have to look at it and go, okay, it seems incredible to sack a manager that's just won the league, but it's also incredible to lose the amount of games that you have in the manner that you have. So I think he's got to win on Sunday, and the players have got to show that they're with him. And if they lose, it shows the players aren't with him, and you've got to make a change. Yeah. Up and running for the second half. Kay says De Zerbi's a good coach. I think De Zerbi will end up at a bigger club. Yeah, I think he will end up back in the Prem at some point. Yeah. DJ says Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Christmas Eve for me. I do like both, but yeah. Here's Diamande. Look at that Mönchengladbach shape there, though. It's so deep, so difficult. I mean, I'm not saying they're playing anti-football, but it's a back five with a 4 in front of it. It's very difficult to break them down. They've got strength in numbers. You need a goal, preferably a Leipzig goal, just for our lovely play by Nusa. Decent cross, but again, the numbers are there for Leipzig, for Mönchengladbach. But the thing is, they're doing nothing on the attack. Who do I think is going to win the Champions League? It's too early. It's way too early. I think with the Champions League, it is way too early. I remember the season where Napoli were tearing it up, and you thought, yeah, and then you hit March. Oh, overload on the right-hand side. Mönchengladbach. It's a lovely ball. Can he get on it? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What is the goalkeeper doing here? It's 1-0. It's 1-0. It's Honorat, the number 9. But I don't really know what Leipzig do here. I was going to say it's a shot on target for Mönchengladbach, but it sort of dribbles in. Rahm's going mad about something, but I don't think the goal will get turned over. But what? We need to see this again. So, long ball. Don't know what Rahm's talking about. Plays it in. Gets the shot off. Does it deflect? Oh, keeper, what are you doing? I can't see. I just can't for the life of me understand how this goes in. It's a bit of a deflection, isn't it? Yeah, a bit of a deflection. Yeah, it's a deflection. To be fair, it's a deflection. Keeper maybe should do a little bit better, but the deflection does it. Chris Cooper's going to watch Gladbach in 2 weeks. There's a bit of an appeal for something. I don't really know what it is. Didn't look offside to me. Well, hopefully it's a goal because it would open the game up nicely. Jonas says the keeper lagged. Well, there must be some sort of appeal for offside because they're still thinking it through. Offside. No. No goal, offside. Ah. Oh. Unlucky. Well, unlucky. I'd like to see the line on that. It's a strange goal anyway, but Sualda says, is the keeper a hologram? Is he made of solid material? Went directly through him. There was a deflection on it, mate, and that can unsettle a goalkeeper, but it would have been nice to have a goal. Corner to Leipzig. Quick VAR, says Fatman, but they are quick. They are very quick. They have automated offside, don't they? Please do subscribe to the channel if you're watching, by the way. Thanks, everyone, as always. We do have a winter break coming up in the Bundesliga. And we've got some good games coming up. We've got Dortmund, we've got Leipzig against Union Berlin in a couple of weeks. That'll be a good one. And then I think they break up on the 20th and come back on the 9th. I think that's how it works in the Bundesliga. I've changed my mind on this. Would you want a winter break for the Premier League? I don't actually give a toss about that, really. I think that, you know, if the players want a winter break, then, well, you shouldn't have been playing in meaningless friendlies and, more Champions League games. Yeah, I agree with you, Sam. There's enough bloody breaks anyway. I don't count the international breaks as football, so you get 4 of them a year. Solo says Boxing Day fixtures are the best of the year. Awesome day, and yet this year you've only got one. I don't know whether you know that. There's only one in the Premier League bottled it. Well, Mönchengladbach seem to have come alive in the second half. A little bit more on the front foot. Yes, they do. Their last fixtures are Sunday, the 21st of December. And then they come back on January the 9th of January the 9th. I know I said January the 9th of December. We've got that game actually. Friday the 9th of January, Frankfurt Dortmund. Whew, that's a good one on a Friday night. I'll have some of that. Yellow card here to Baku of Leipzig. Chance to whip one into the back post. We got Frankfurt twice in Jan. That's a good cross in towards the back post. Surely. Oh, cleared away. Offside anyway. Causing trouble there. Causing trouble. Okay, we don't need to change the score because it's 0-0. Jack says, I don't think Arteta will win the league. Have we forgotten a few years ago? Top of the league for 6 months and still lost it. If they haven't had an April wobble, then I will say they won't. They've won it. I reckon Mönchengladbach might score in a minute because they are the better team. The crowd are reacting. They're up for this. In the United States, don't you have games on Christmas Day and Thanksgiving as well? I don't know whether I'd want football on Christmas Day. I think I think there should be one day a year where you can just have a, have a day off. I'd have done that one. Thank you. Leipzig are apparently 15 years old, says Jemmy. Of course, Klopp's involved with Leipzig, isn't he? The Red Bull Group. Three NFL games on Christmas, says John. The thing is, though, it's not just the fact that the players play on Christmas Day. That means that all the fans have to go to the game as well on Christmas Day. I think it's I don't think my family would be happy. Bit of a breakaway here for Mönchengladbach. They've got a 2v2. Lay it off. Lovely ball. Hit it. Oh, you've got to hit it there. Gone for a corner, but You've got to back yourself. Don't try and cross it. Shoot. Stevie says Christmas Day doesn't mean as much in the States. I think it does. I was there last week. There's a lot of decorations. Oh, Wolves are relegated, Danny. Definitely. Right, corner Mönchengladbach here. And it's going to be another corner because he's headed it out on the front post there. Can't really get their attacking players into this game, Leipzig, at the moment. Another good cross. That's going to go out for a goal kick. Who's playing better, says Meris. I think Leipzig have struggled. I mean, Mönchengladbach, well organised. As I say, they've got the best record in the league in the last 3 games. They've won their last 3. Not been particularly attacking in the first half, but they've been really well organised. And you can see why they're picking up a lot of points at the moment. But these are the games for Leipzig. If they want to push Bayern or they want to stay second, you've got to win them. You can see Leipzig, as soon as they get the ball, you can see off the ball all these white shirt players, Mönchengladbach players, are running back into position. Do you think United's policy of bringing in experienced Premier League players and young talents for under 10 million will eventually pay off? What players have we brought in for under 10 million, mate? Daniel? Anderson's now been linked with City, Mark. That's what'll happen, Raphael. I mean, it's just complete and utter arrogance to think that we're getting Elliot Anderson and no one else is going to go for him. Harder. Ooh, corner. Good block by the defender. Stevie B says Liverpool's first European Cup win was against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Corner to Leipzig. It's good. Well done on the back post. So old. Interesting. Headed away. Mönchengladbach looking to break, but they've got the cover. Leipzig go all the way back to the keeper. Who's your favourite Bundesliga youngster, says Julius? I do. I mean, I said at the start of the season, I really do like Nusser, who's obviously number 7 for Leipzig. That lad at Cologne, Almala, he looks very interesting as well. Orozco, Kone, Lasali, Heaven. I mean, all under 10 million, to be fair. Oh, I thought you meant we were buying experienced players as well. Yeah, I mean, look, basically what you're saying is, what do you think about Man United buying all these talented teenagers? As I said, I think that if you are buying talented teenagers like Leipzig do, and you have a model of developing them, then it's a great idea. Manchester United do not have a pedigree of developing players. This is, what are we doing there, Leipzig? That was a lovely bit of play, and then the layoff was just to nobody. And now it's Mönchengladbach, and he might get booked there. The Leipzig player, I think he will. Yeah, the yellow card. Yeah, I think if you're buying players that are young, you've got to have a platform to develop them. And when was the last player United developed a young? When was the last time United developed a young player? Do you think Danny says Southampton couldn't beat Derby's record? I doubt Wolves will. I don't think that Derby relegation record will ever be beaten. I mean, what did they get? Was it 8 points or 11? I mean, it's just I don't see how anybody would ever get lower than that. Ethan says my dad's nickname is Mönchengladbach because of his back problems. As someone who suffers with lower back problems, I know exactly what you mean. Quick throw in. Nusa. Still loads of numbers back for Mönchengladbach, though, and they battled their way back to winning the ball and clear their. Oh, here we go. Nice ball into Diamonde. But again, it's sloppy in the final third. Diamonde again. Sloppy again by Baumgartner. Who do I think will get relegated from the Prem? The three that are down there at the bottom. I think Wolves are going to go, and I think Sunderland will stay up, and then I think it'll be the other two newly promoted teams. Nice ball here. Way too wide. And he has a shot from there, Harder. Incredible. Well, it's subs o'clock for Leipzig. Do you have any favourite teams in the Bundesliga, says Hakuna? Well, I think the brilliance of what we're doing this season with the live TV coverage and the focus on the Bundesliga on a Friday night and with the highlights is that we've got to see so many teams. And yeah, look, it's always good to watch Bayern or Dortmund or Leipzig or Frankfurt, but I have really enjoyed watching teams like Cologne and Union Berlin. And I think the atmosphere, helps a lot with that and the way the games flow. It's a bit disappointing it's 0-0 at the moment, though. We normally do get goals. Pig says, I think it will be Wolves, Leeds and Forest. Forest won't go down with Deitch. Absolutely no chance. I feel that Amrim has a problem as he's got the young players with potential but doesn't want to expose them to the toxic mindset of the current team, says Daniel. Yeah. I mean, look at Dorgu, look at Sesko, look at Yoro. They're already being questioned and they shouldn't be because they're prospects. But they get questioned because the team's so bad and it doesn't protect them and their performances struggle. So people judge them on that performance and it doesn't help them because they need to be, nurtured, and we haven't got that environment. That's a nice little, oh no. I do like Stuttgart as well. I missed them out. I do like Stuttgart. Very good team, score a lot of goals. Especially when you consider that they lost to Voltemeda right before the start of the season as well. I think that was a real loss for them. Obviously, they made a lot of money from it, but right before the start of the season. I know this is that football, but thoughts on United buying kids regularly and then plead poverty on players we need now, says Ray. I think it's a strategy that's not going to work. Right, got a couple of subs coming on here. Leipzig Bakayoko's coming on. And Banzuzi is coming on. Now, I think... Oh, he's taken Nusser off. Sack the manager. Sack him. What is he on about? What's he on about? Nobody takes off. You don't take him off. Bakayoko's an interesting player. Slightly older than Nusser. He's 22. They brought him in the summer from PSV. He'd scored 26 goals in 89 games. So he's highly thought of, summer signing. So keep an eye out for him. He's just come on for Nusser. And he is the number 9 now. Got a corner here for Leipzig. If Banzuzi is who I think it is, I think he's a central midfielder who is meant to be the next big destroyer. I don't know whether that is him. No, it's not him because he's an attacking midfielder, Banzuzi. Banzuzi's another player that they brought in from the summer. He's an attacking midfielder. I'm trying to think, who am I thinking of then? I think maybe they don't play for, maybe they don't even play for Leipzig. I can't see who it would be on the bench. Maybe I'm getting mixed up. I'm sure there was a team that had a massive midfielder. I thought he came on against Bayern in the opening game of the season, but maybe he's injured. Leichen says, Banzuzi is a 20-year-old Dutch player. I bought him on my career mode for Millwall last year. Well, you can understand the changes from Leipzig. In a game like this, it's sort of it's a bit like Dortmund the other week, isn't it? You've struggled to do anything, but can you just find that one chance, that one bit of luck, win the game and take the 3 points? I still feel like Mönchengladbach could get something as well. There's a lovely pass on there. If he sees it, he has seen it. Well done, Bakayoko again. Good defending. And he's gone for a goal kick. I don't think it's Manzambi from Freiburg, Cobb, because I think Freiburg are the only team we haven't... I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Freiburg are the only team we haven't done a watch-along for in the entire league so far. And probably Heidenheim. I don't think we've done Heidenheim or Freiburg. Harry says, do you speak any German? 9. That's an interesting cross. Oh, I thought he was going to score there. Bakayoko, lovely cross into the box. And I don't know what happened. It was a great cross. I haven't seen anything like that. Oh, it's brilliant defending. I was going to say, I don't know how Harder doesn't score that, but actually I do. It's just really good defending by the Leipzig defender, Alvedi. Did very, very well. Give him credit. Experienced centre-back. Been at the club since... No, it's a goal kick. Been at the club since 2015, 29 years of age now. I'm not reading this from my script, but he's doing very well. Are you doing watch-along for Cardiff against Chelsea, says Barrett? What? When? Why? What? When? Must be Carabao Cup. Why don't United use Nice as Chelsea use Strasbourg, says Daniel? Because we're rubbish, basically. Rubbish. TZW wants ideas what to cook. If I could eat anything now, I actually feel like steak, chips, mushrooms, gravy. Yeah, that'd be a good start. Lovely ball there. Leipzig on the attack. Oh, was that Harder again? I tell you what, he has got a very, very apt name. The way he hits the ball with his left foot, the power is immense. It's incredible. And the angles he shoots from as well. It's a great save by the keeper. That would have been an absolute banger. He has got an incredible shot on him, Harder. Esteban or Yamal, says Jack. I mean, it's got to be Yamal at the moment. I mean, Esteban looks like a very good talent, but it's a terrible corner, that is. But Mönchengladbach will break. It's a 2v1. If he plays it right, you've got to play it now. Too long. Took too long. Harder wears short shorts, says Fat. Maybe that's why he shoots so well. Maybe we need to go back to the 80s where everyone wore short shorts. I remember when I used to play football in the 80s, like we did used to wear like shorts that were short. And then the 90s, they started to be these new style of shorts that were slightly longer. That's going to go out for a goal kick. Amar says Leipzig to win, easy money. Well, mate, we've only got 20 minutes left, and I don't think you've got the script here because it's been a game of very few clear-cut chances. Looks like Tabakovic is going to come off for Mönchengladbach. He's had a quiet night. Not a lot going on for him. Rainer's coming on. And Machino, who's a striker from Japan. Rainer for Mönchengladbach is obviously formerly of Dortmund. Forget his new name. His first name. Is it Gio Reyna? Still only 22. Just had immense problems with injuries. So, yes, you will recognise the name Reyna. Of just come on for Mönchengladbach. And was always a player at Giovanni Reyna, number 13. Well, why is he wearing number 13? I mean, you're injury prone. Why would you go for a number 13? So, interesting profile of subs. The Japanese lad's apparently quite good as well. Just laid it off quite nicely, but yeah, Gio Reyna, 22. Where's the number 13 and is injury prone? That's a good start here. They've done all right. Mönchengladbach. And what's he doing? Giving a free kick? Is he giving a penalty? He's giving a penalty, I think. Nah, that's soft. That is. I think that's very soft. Kicks the ball. I'm not seeing a penalty for that. Nah. That's never a penalty, that. Fuad says it is a penalty. He kicks him. I suppose it's just different leagues, isn't it? But I think it's going to stay as a penalty, but I don't think that's a penalty. He's definitely connected. I mean, look, he might have caught the player a little bit, but he's kicked the ball. They're not happy about it, Leipzig. So here it comes in. No. I can't see that. I can't see them giving it. Let's have a look. Here we go. No. I think he's going to check this on VAR. Yeah, won't be a penalty. Not going to be a penalty. Now he's been asked to go and have a look at it. That's not going to get given. I think sometimes you can catch a player but look, it's just not enough. The Leipzig player is in the better position to win the ball. And think he should get booked for simulation. Need to show. That's the angle they need to show it from. It's not. You can't give that. That you can clearly see he kicks the ball and then he catches the player afterwards, but not a penalty. See what he says. On review, I've decided I will not give a penalty. And he hasn't. And that's a good decision. Hits the ball first. No penalty, no foul. VAR that works, says Sam Baxter. Get it in the Prem. It's a lot quicker, isn't it, as well? Definitely a lot quicker. In the Premier League, that would not have got turned over. They'd have gone, let's back the player, let's back the referee on the pitch and the mistake. Anyway, we're moving worryingly closer towards a 0-0 here. Which nobody wants to see. Yeah, it's a live match stream on the live match stream if you're in the UK and Ireland. If you're in the watch along, you're not in the UK and Ireland, so we're just doing it as a watch along for you. I think Mönchengladbach deserves something out of this game. They've defended and they've been well organised and they've really nullified a Leipzig side that does score a lot of goals, but they just haven't looked very. They've had no answer, so you've got to give credit to the Mönchengladbach side. I mean, they won't play like this against everybody, but they are playing second in the league, and to their credit, they might. Well, you never know. They might win this. Won a corner. Do you think the Premier League needs the 50+1 rule? Says JLC. I'd love to see it, but funnily enough, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that would ever get voted in by fans. Really. Jam says it would be 0-0 at the start. Oh, that's a nice ball. Oh, no, referee says that's fine. I like the look of this Harder. I mean, I've not watched a lot of him. And I think he's got an incredible shot on him. He has confidence. I would not be surprised, and whether anybody will ever remember this, but I would not be surprised if he ends up being a top-level striker. Leipzig have got an overload here. Ram, shoot Ram. Oh, he's at the post. Oh, I can't believe it. From that angle as well, he's done so well. He's so unlucky. So unlucky there. Leipzig starting to have a go now. That's a crap cross. I need to see that Ram chance again. Is Ram the starting left back for Germany? I did ask that before. I think he is. We need to see this from this angle here. Look at this. Drills it really well. So unlucky as well because he curls it. Right, 10 minutes to go. Are we going to get a late winner here? You feel like both teams want it, but they don't want to give up what they've got. That's good defending, but he's done well. Ram's got time to whip this in. He won't refuse the chance. Mönchengladbach, well, they want a handball. I don't think they're going to get it. Is Bakayoko. Interesting player. Likes to run at people. He's probably overdone it there a little bit, but still got the numbers back. Now Bakayoko again. Don't let him on his left. Shot. What game's doing tomorrow? Says Bet. I'm not planning on doing a watch along tomorrow. There's no 12:30 game. The 3:00 games aren't very good. I'm definitely not doing Spurs Fulham at 8. I thought about Everton Newcastle, but I might just have a very rare Saturday off tomorrow and do Christmas decorations and stuff. I'll still do United stand stuff, but such a good shot. Well, it's not a good shot because it didn't go in, but he hit the woodwork hard there. He thudded the woodwork. Yeah, you got Brentford, Burnley at 3, Man City, Leeds at 3, Sunderland, Bournemouth at 3, Everton at Newcastle at 5:30, and then Spurs, Fulham at 8. There's definitely a big increase in the 8:00 games, isn't there, this season on a Saturday? I think Chelsea Arsenal will be a cracker on Sunday. I think West Ham Liverpool will be interesting, and as we know, United Palace will be as well. He's taken harder off, says Stevie B. Midweek Premier League games next week. I like the Champions League, and I do like Europe, but you can't beat it. It's him or Misselstadt who start at left back for England, for Germany, says Joe Wright. Thank you, Joe. I think Karstrop's just gone off injured there, hasn't he? He's a good young player for Mönchengladbach. So we've just had a few more subs going on here. Harder has gone off, and Tidium Gomez has come on, who I don't know anything about. He's a French footballer. Guess what? He's 19. I mean, that's Leipzig for you all over. He's 19 years of age. He's never scored a goal for Leipzig. And they brought him in from Caen in the summer, where he scored 4 goals in 36 games. So I don't think he's going to score. But he's number 27 instead of Harder. Roy Keane or Beckham, who was more important for United to steer? Well, there's so many players I loved at United, but they're my 2 favourite players. So splitting those 2 is very difficult. But who was more important for United? It's got to be Roy Keane. He was there for longer, and he was the captain. Marty says, I'd love to have Nusa at United. Leipzig on the attack. Go wide, go wide. Bakayoko, come on. What are you going to do? Nice little touch. That's a lovely cross by Tidian Gomez. And he's sort of like going, you sort of got to be on the end of that yourself, mate. It was a nice little cross. Intelligent little play. But you don't have a striker. Unlucky, lad. Dortmund play Leverkusen twice in the next week, one in the Bundesliga and one in the League Cup. Why are you talking about Old Trafford under lights on Thursday nights? We don't play any Europa. Oh no, of course, yeah, I know what you're on about. We're playing next Thursday. I thought you were having a pop at us for being in the Europa League, but we're not. I was going to say we're not even that good. I think United are playing next Thursday. You're right. We're playing against West Ham at 8 o'clock next Thursday night. Wednesday night, it's Arsenal, Brentford, Liverpool, Sunderland, Leeds, Chelsea, and Tuesday night, Newcastle against Spurs will be a good one. Fulham play Man City at 7:30. So some good games next week. Win, lose or draw. I've got to record another one with Robbie on Monday. Need to pick up some points in that. I can't believe there is only 3 minutes left of this game. I mean, look, even for a 0-0, these German games, they're very, very fast flowing. There's no stop-start nonsense like the Prem. But they haven't given us any goals tonight. And I think, I've got to say, the credit goes to Mönchengladbach. We've watched them a couple of times this season, and they're a very well-organised side. Remind me a little bit of Palace. They're like the Crystal Palace of the Prem. They're very well organised. They've got that sort of 3 back 5 that can become a 3, well organised midfield, and then players on the break. Tabakovic is a bit like Mateta. And Leipzig have had no answer unless they can do it here in the last few minutes. Bakayoko. And a wild shot from distance. It has flown by, Ryan. It has. I'm looking forward to the World Cup. I mean, I was in New York last week, if I haven't mentioned it. I am looking forward to the World Cup, and I spoke to a few people over there, and they were like, "Yeah, can't wait for it." Club World Cup was a bit weird, but the World Cup, most of the tickets have already been sold out. You know, even though they don't know what the games are going to be. So I think it's going to be really, really good. My issue with the World Cup has got nothing to do with where it is. They've just made it too big. There's too many teams in it, and you know, every World Cup, the group stage, you're going to get some games that are dull, but there's going to be a lot of dull games. I mean, if you're Brazil, England, Portugal, France, you're basically going to be playing easy games until maybe even the semi-final. I mean, the top 4 seeds can't play each other until the semi-final either for the first time ever. They're keeping them apart. So it all just feels a little bit about money and volume. And you know, as a football fan, I liked watching Arsenal Bayern on Wednesday night in the Champions League. I'd like to see Portugal, England in a group game. You know, I'd like to see them playing in the first knockout game. I just think it's all a bit, and it's FIFA's fault. It's just a little bit like, let's get loads of teams in it. But what'll happen is it will just be too easy for the big teams. And we'll just, you know what, if we end up with the top 4 seeds in the semi-finals, what's the point, you know? But it will be good. The attendances will be massive. I remember the USA 94 World Cup, and it's not just in the USA, it's in Canada and Mexico as well. The USA 94 World Cup, if you go back and look at the group games, even games that you thought wouldn't have high attendances did. They've done really well the way that they've sold it, because they've sold the tickets before the draw. Might do a live stream for the draw, because I think it's coming up, isn't it, in the next couple of weeks? I think we've got a few minutes added on here. What's your plan for the World Cup, says DJ? as you know, I've been in America the last I've been twice in the last few months. Lots of conversations going on. Not too sure what we're going to do. In the past, we've done watch-alongs for every single game. I don't know whether that always works. I mean, who wants to watch a watch-along between like Saudi Arabia and, I don't know, Finland if they're there? I don't know. But the draw is next Friday the 5th, says Fatal. We've got a few ideas at the moment. We'll be doing stuff on That's Football, though, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Week on Friday, the draw. Anyway, Leipzig have got a corner here. We've still got another 5 minutes to go because there's 7 minutes added on, and we've had a minute and a half here. Little flick, no one's there. Bakayoko on the back post. He's going to try and whip this on his left, but he's held on to that for too long. Too much. It's become frustrating for Leipzig because it's like a Mönchengladbach defensive wall. Keeper's done very well there as well. So for Mönchengladbach, it's going to be 3 wins and a draw in their last 4, making them still the form team in the Bundesliga. He's miles offside, mate. Don't even run. When are they doing the playoffs for the World Cup? March. I do think that's weird that you'll be in the draw, but you don't know whether you're in it until you play your playoffs. I'm sure didn't they used to do the World Cup playoffs in November? Because wasn't that when Henry did the handball against Ireland? I think it's weird how they do the draw now but you don't play your playoff until March. Amrim has just 6 years of experience, so he's a really young manager. If United can give him a chance, why can't you give a chance to young players, says Sanchez? That doesn't mean anything, mate. It's not working, is it? It's not working giving young players chances, and it's not working giving Amrim a chance. So what? So the answer would be it's not working, so don't do it. Hopefully it will work, but, you know, we're not a bloody charity. We're meant to be a football club. Werner's not on the bench. He's had 1 minute of action for Leipzig. They don't want him, and I think he's going to the MLS in Jan. Yeah, Hello's right. They did the same thing with the Euros. The groups were made before we even knew who was participating. When is the World Cup? Have they done it already? World Cup European playoffs. So you're going to play 2 games. So Italy play Northern Ireland, and then the winner of that plays Wales or Bosnia. Poland play Albania, and then the winner of that plays Ukraine or Sweden. Turkey play Romania, and the winner of that plays Slovakia or Kosovo. Czech Republic play Republic of Ireland, and the winner of that plays Denmark or Macedonia. So you've got to win 2 games. Again, it's just an elongated way of doing it, isn't it? Alex says, I'm sending you much love from Iceland. Great content. Thanks, pal. Hope you're doing well. 1-legged semi-final. Well, Northern Ireland are going out, aren't they? They're not going to win in Italy, I don't think. And then and Wales have got a chance because they're at home. Ireland are away to Czech Republic. That'll be difficult. Leipzig on the attack here anyway. Only 90 seconds to go, but Mönchengladbach have it. It's going to be 0-0, this. It's going to be 0-0. A minute to go. Yeah, it's a one-legged semi-final and final, says hello. Italy have to play away in the final. That's in there if they get through against Wales or Bosnia. There's always a team, a big nation that doesn't go to the World Cup. I mean, I remember 94, England didn't go, but neither did France. I mean, not qualifying for this World Cup is pretty embarrassing when it's so big, if you're a big nation. Right, they've got 5 seconds here, Leipzig. It's not going to happen, is it? Bakayoko, that's it. Referee blows his whistle. 0-0. That's a good result for Mönchengladbach. A point for them. They've worked hard defensively. They've been well organised, and Leipzig just didn't have an answer. I mean, maybe that comes down to inexperience. They had Nusa 20, Diamonde 19, and Harder 20 as their front three. Rahm, the captain, looks a bit disappointed. And it finishes 0-0, which is a bit disappointing for a Friday night game. We normally get lots of goals in the Bundesliga. Not tonight. So we've got to praise the fact that Mönchengladbach were well organised. And 4 games unbeaten, 3 wins and a draw. Good stuff. I'm back on the United Stand tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. if you want to join me live for that. Thank you everybody for watching. If you want to check out Win, Lose or Draw on this channel, Robbie against me on Premier League Predictions, our Premier League Predictions show, that's on the homepage as well. Thank you so much, everybody who's tuned in tonight. The Premier League is back tomorrow, but we start the football on That's Football on Friday night with the Bundesliga. And I will speak to you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching and sharing, and I'll speak to you all in a bit. Take care.